Hey everybody, Luke Filmboss here, and welcome to my ranking of the top 10 best movies of 2025. Starting at number 10 is Naza 2 with an 89%. Naza is a crazy story. These Chinese animated films are completely on fire. They are crazy good. The first one I think I slightly prefer over the second one just for my own personal feelings, but Naza 2 is everything that a sequel needs to be. It is so much bigger. It's honestly so much better than the first one. The scale, the stakes, the world building, the emotion, everything is amped up to like an 11 in Naza 2. The animation here is so detailed and so large and beautiful. It's such like a painting on the screen, especially in the third act. It's quite incredible to watch, especially seeing it on the big screen twice. Once when it came out the first time in February, I believe, and then in August. Absolute cinema. Naza 2, fantastic. Obviously, it takes inspiration from a lot of the Chinese folklore and the fantastical elements of Chinese culture. It's fantastic. And like I said, the emotion, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but there's a scene close to the end and it tears my heart out. It is so good, but yet the ending is so phenomenal. And throughout the movie, it's heartwarming, it's hilarious, it's intense, it's action packed, and there's very few things that I could say are wrong with the movie, other than a few personal preferences here and there. In ninth place with an 89% is Frankenstein. This is the latest movie to come out from Guillermo del Toro in the director's chair, and it's a beautiful film. Obviously, Frankenstein is a tale as old as time. Not literally, it's not Beauty and the Beast. It's been around for a while, though. It's a classic story that's been adapted in film multiple times. I think this is the first feature-length version of the Frankenstein story that I've actually seen, and it's a great story. I love how it tackles the question: who's the real monster, the man or the creation? The creator or the creation. And obviously, you could come up with this little God narrative, but I think really deep down, it's about humans, not as much God. It's about humans who like to play God, and in doing so, in their ambition, in their search to be something greater, their search to take control of their own destiny, they just screw things up because they are not God. They cannot comprehend what it takes to actually create life in the manner that God has done. Aside from the story and the characters, Frankenstein is a visual masterpiece. The sets, the costume design, the makeup, it's all done very well. And this is clearly going to be a front runner for the Oscars, at least in the department of hair and makeup, possibly costume design, and definitely production design. This movie is probably one of the best of the year, if not the best in terms of production design. In eighth place with an 89% is Superman. Now, I might be a little bit partial to DC films because I just love the world of DC as a whole. I love Gotham, I love Metropolis, I love Batman, I love Superman. And so this movie was kind of going to be my thing unless it was really bad, which some of them are. Aquaman 2, phew, get that out of here. But this movie, Superman, was the blockbuster that this year needed. It was that somewhat simplistic, somewhat safe, but yet still exciting, still fresh blockbuster that James Gunn just knows how to make. It was emotional, it was funny, it had action, it had some nice visuals for the most part. It wasn't perfect by any means. It has its flaws, but overall, it does do its job, and it tackles some interesting ideas, such as, what does it mean to be human, and why would somebody do the right thing even when the world's against them? Things that most Superman stories delve into, but it was a little bit of a fresh take in certain areas while also just being a simple, fun blockbuster that doesn't bother and feel the need to be this huge philosophical, mind bending experience. It was just a fun, action packed blockbuster, and it worked for me. In seventh place is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery with an 89.5%. I really love this movie, and this is the movie that I've seen most recently from this year. This was the last movie of 2025 that I watched. I was so satisfied. I was so happy that this was the one that I got to go out on. I love the Knives Out movies. Glass Onion is hilarious. The first one is just a very solid mystery film. And this one I think is actually my personal favorite. Me being a Christian, obviously the topic of faith in this movie was something that I was keeping a very close eye on. And I actually thought that they handled it very well, very respectfully. And the movie really is just a story about faith and forgiveness and salvation and redemption and what does that all look like. But yet you see a lot of nuance because you have so many different types of characters. You have hypocritical people in the church. You have people in the church that simply just want to get something out of it. They're doing it out of thinking that if they give, then they will receive. That you have the people that are faithful. They've been there for years, but yet they're willing to compromise in certain areas for what they believe is the will of God. And then you have the steadfast people. You have the people that maybe are a little bit confused, wavering, people who, there's so many different people in this movie, and it makes for an interesting experience. And then you have the characters that just don't believe in God at all or think that it's all hogwash. And so you have all these different characters, these different viewpoints and worldviews, and it makes for such an interesting, confusing scenario because it's a mystery, and it works very well. But the ending is really what sold me on this film. It is such a great finale, and it's a mystery, so I'm not going to spoil it, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. In sixth place with a 90% is Marty Supreme. This movie is absolutely 100% the craziest movie of the year. And that's crazy in a good way and in a little bit of an inappropriate way. But Timothée Chalamet is a national treasure. He is the best actor of our time, possibly the best actor in the last few decades. He brings this movie to life. But the actors and actresses that play off of him in this movie also did a great job. The direction, cinematography, the writing is fantastic. Whether it's his, everyday life shenanigans or the ping pong games, it's all edge of your seat, constant moving. It keeps your brain constantly stimulated in the best way possible. It's such a riot. Obviously, it's rated R. Don't take your kids to see this movie. But if you want a fantastic, wild ride, if you're in the mood for something that's just going to be edge of your seat craziness, Marty Supreme is the movie for you. Rounding out the top 5 with a 90.5% is David. This is the latest film to come out from Angel Studios, and it is an animated family film. It's a movie that can be enjoyed by both a 2-year-old and by a full-grown adult. And I really loved it a lot. It was beautiful. The animation is so high quality. It's so good. They definitely put a lot of time and effort into this. It's taken a long time from when this movie was first announced to get it to where it is now, but it fully paid off. The wait was worth it. But beyond just the animation, the story is a faithful yet kind of creative adaptation of the David story. Now, if you're one of those grumpy grumps who thinks that this has to be exactly like the Bible, then don't watch this movie. I think that due to the surrounding circumstances of the biblically accurate Bible story not being exactly PG for kids, I think that this movie does a very good job of being mature and dealing with serious topics without putting any of the inappropriate, more PG-13 to R-rated stuff in it, because obviously this is a movie that's primarily for much younger audiences. And if you're an adult watching it and being upset that it's not as graphic as the Bible story, which I've heard literal complaints about that, then you're a little cuckoo in the head. You know who you are. But beyond that, one of the things that really elevates this movie is that it's a musical, and the music is fantastic. There's another animated movie this year that had really good music and really good animation and a really good story. It's actually a good comp to this movie. But David is a surprise hit. I think it's a true testament to where our culture is at now, to where a movie like David can come out in the holiday season and be one of the top box office frontrunners. It is grossing alongside of the top films this holiday season. It's doing extremely well. It's still doing well. It's on track to top Elio and The Bad Guys 2 at the box office, which for this biblical, independently financed studio film, that's incredible. Go see David. It's still in theaters. It is one of the best movies of the year. Absolutely fantastic. Go watch it. In fourth place with a 91% is Begonia. Now this is a true testament to how you can make one of the best films of the year on a relatively small budget with a small scale idea. Most of this movie takes place in a basement, and yet it's still one of the best movies of the year. That shows how important a good script is, and the script is absolutely fantastic. There's other quality aspects here. The acting is all-star. Emma Stone and the other cast members put in an excellent performance. Everything involved with this movie was just a lot of fun to see it unfold, and it's one that's very easy to spoil. So I'm not going to talk too much into detail, but it's a riot, and I would recommend watching it. It's pretty great. Before we get on to the top three, I just wanted to give a shout out to the movie Ballerina, which is a John Wick spinoff that came out this year. I thought it was a fantastic movie, and I was really debating if it should get into this top 10 or not, but I ended up actually realizing that there was a few movies that I actually thought were better than Ballerina that ended up in this list, and so I had to kind of drop Ballerina's score because I realized it wasn't as good as these other movies that I gave a lower score than I had initially given to Ballerina. But it's still a fantastic film. It almost made the top 10, but not quite. I would definitely say Ballerina, especially if you're a John Wick fan, it's worth the watch. In third place with a 92% is The Long Walk. Now, I did a review about this one when it came out, so I'm not going to talk too much. If you want, I'll leave a link in the description, and you can go watch my quick thoughts on The Long Walk. But it was a fantastic movie. It was super emotional. It's basically, the story is keep walking or you die. But they are able to add so much more to it than that. It's directed by the same guy who did the most recent 4 Hunger Game movies, and he did a great job with this one. This is on par with his best work with those Hunger Game movies, I think. The cast is really great. The script is really great. A lot of really suspenseful, gripping moments and really heart-wrenching emotional moments. It's a great film. In second place with a 94% is K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, this was the surprise hit of the year that nobody saw coming. At first, when I heard about this movie, I was so confused. I'm like, is this movie, like, real? Like, this is a movie that actually exists. And this was before it actually released. I just saw a little teaser trailer, and I'm like, it looks so goofy and campy. Like, my interest was piqued. But I'm like, K-pop Demon Hunters. You have a Demon Hunter movie where you have K-pop idols as the Demon Hunters. And the trailer I watched had nothing to do with the Demon Hunter. So I didn't see how epic it was actually going to be, how kick butt these Demon Hunters were going to be. It was literally the scene where they are going to the couch. And I was so confused. I'm like, is this going to be good or not? And then I started, when it actually was released, I started seeing a little bit of material online. I'm like, this looks really good. Like, in the animation, I saw people were like falling in love with it. I'm like, I'm going to check it out. I checked it out. I fell in love almost instantly. First watch, I'm like, I need to watch this movie again. I watched it again, and I loved it. Then I watched it again. I kept watching it again with new people each time. Each time, it was just as good, if not better than the last. It is a movie that has somehow unified So many people, especially people from my generation, and some people from the older generation, and some from the younger generation. I know my mom personally loves this movie. My brothers love this movie. Some of my friends really liked the movie. Some of them didn't like it as much. Some of them loved it. The music is topping the charts. It's been such an icon this summer, and just throughout the year, it's still relevant. This movie, as of the last time I checked, surpassed 500 million views on Netflix, which is more than double the next highest viewed movie on Netflix, which is Red Notice. More than double the amount of views. This movie absolutely shattered every record in Netflix's book. In the music department, in the music industry, it is topping the charts. It topped the charts so much. Golden was literally the hit of the summer. The heights that this movie transcended in terms of just popularity is one thing. And beyond that, the movie is just really good. The animation is vibrant. It's well paced. It's got good color coding. The way that they use colors to tell the story, and just the way the story is told, it's really fantastic. But it's got like this really deep message about concealing shame and trying to get rid of the ugly pieces of ourselves, and figuring out how to do that in a healthy way, how to not drag ourselves down and allow ourselves to believe that we are the broken pieces. In this movie, it's the patterns, the demonic things that plague us, plague our minds, plague our spirits, and finding out how we can embrace hope and truth and change who we are. It's a fantastic movie. It's one that I really want to make a deep dive Finding God in K-pop Demon Hunter movie review, because it is so rich with themes which you could very easily, and I think some of it was intentional from the creatives, be correlated to theology. It's a fantastic movie. Don't let the title, don't let the idea of the demons keep you from this movie, if you're a Christian, I would say, because it's very good. And if you watch it and you personally think that it's not a good movie for Christians, that's okay. I disagree with you. I think that it's very much so a reflection of our human hearts, how we are deeply inherently flawed, inherently sinful, and how only finding the light, only accepting truth is going to be what sets us free. And finally, in first place, the best movie of 2025 is another movie that has to do with killing demons. It is Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. This movie is so freaking amazing. This one takes the cake in the visual department. Oh my gosh, it's so well done. Like, how did somebody even begin to start animating some of the scenes in this movie? It transcends what I can even comprehend. So many talented people. And it's not just the visuals. The characters, obviously, this is like essentially part 5 in an ongoing arc. Actually, I guess it would technically kind of be part 6, because you had the first season, you had the train arc, you had the entertainment district, you had the blacksmiths, and then you had the training arc. So yeah, this is technically like the 6th part in this ongoing series. So obviously, it's not one that you would appreciate as much if you haven't seen all of the previous seasons in the Demon Slayer discography. But it's also one that, in my theater, when I went to see it, I had some friends that had never seen anything Demon Slayer related, and they enjoyed it. Like, it's just a well-told story that you can kind of get into, and it's so well told. There's so many good moments, and it takes its time. It's intense. It's kind of graphic in the the violence department, but it's rich with themes and emotion. And especially, like, it's got a very nice 3-act structure where each act is focusing on a different villain and a different hero. And obviously, our main character Tanjiro, with the main villain Asuka, it's takes up the majority of the movie, and it's so good. The backstory, got me bawling my eyes out when I watched it in both English and in Japanese. Fantastic. The music also. It's such a great movie. I absolutely loved it. I am so hyped because there's 2 more of these movies coming out. That's crazy to me. Like, this movie was so good, and we have another movie coming out in 2 years, and then after that, another movie. I think it's 2 years or 2 or 4 years. I forget. I think it's 2 years we have to wait for them. Oh, it's going to be such an entertaining time just waiting for these movies, and then when I finally get to see it, oh, I'm so excited. I'm just so blessed as a film fanatic to be living in a time where these types of movies are coming out. Obviously, there's been great cinema throughout time, but the fact that we're able to get something this culturally relevant, something that broke so many box office records in not only the world, not only its home country, Japan, but in the USA, that so many people rallied behind this movie and just showed their love, because this is such a generational story that pretty much anybody can grasp onto. It's a wild ride. It made me appreciate going to the cinema this year. And there you have it. Those are my top 10 films of 2025. I hope you enjoyed that list. I hope you enjoyed listening to my thoughts. Please let me know what your top 10 best movies would be down below in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Film Boss. Bye.